Hi everybody, welcome back to day two. My name is Patty Horton. I'm an author, I'm a direct channel for spirit, and again I'm going to be sharing with you a reading from the book I Am the Light, The Wisdom of Jesus in the 21st Century. This is part two of a three-part series where the story flows together, where we come back and we pick up where we left off from. As I take a moment to share with you what happened on the second day of workshop, I'm excited that I get to share a personal experience and hope that you're able to learn from what is written, what was experienced by me, and the wisdom that shared with you can help you move through something if you are facing a similar situation or a place where you were to be made felt less than somebody else because maybe you just weren't famous, as they like to say. Sometimes people are famous in their own minds, right? So today we're going to be reading from the book. It's on page 23 and it's called The Book of Wisdom. So this is my second day in workshop at the Omega Institute in Rhinebeck, New York. So let's begin. Jesus would again make his presence known while I was in that classroom at Omega. The instructor had just led us into a deep state of meditation called the Power. This is the place where we put our human ego aside and commune with spirit. My teacher, Miss Jackie, would call this going direct. As I sat in the Power, I could feel Jesus approach. He sat beside of me and he handed me a book of wisdom. A page was bookmarked, and when I opened the book to that page, the word I saw and read was hope. Then Jesus spoke to me. Hope. Teach people about hope and continue to remind them about my Father's mansion and his many rooms. He showed me visions of all the learning we do on the other side when we are still in spirit form. He showed me how hope connects us to faith and where both can be accessed, and saying that one is the doorway and the other is the threshold. Jesus went on to say, the flow, the light will naturally clear for all. Hope is the intent needed and that which leads you towards faith. Faith is the unbreakable bond you have with truth. Access it through hope, and so it shall be. Jesus taught me that this is how we humans can reconnect to the pathway which leads us towards that oneness with God. That is, after all, what it is all about. As we have fallen away from our authentic self in the spirit form, we have taken on a human body that cloaks our light. This is why the guidance given is so important, as it helps us to access what we have temporarily forgotten. This was channeled from Jesus on August 20th, 2013. The above visitation, which happened on the second day of my week-long retreat, was clearly a powerful one, but it was what happened as the workshop opened that day that set the stage for understanding my week of miracles. The workshop always opened with a meditation by one of the tutors. On this day, the American tutor took the platform and said, have I got something special to share with you this morning? And I remember he was gleeful and giddy and prancing around on the platform, and everybody's eyes were on him and just so excited with what he was about to share. He went on to tell the class that Jesus had come to him as he prepared his teaching syllabus for the day. He then said Jesus had given him an incredible special meditation that he had to share with us. For the next few minutes, I listened in shock as this American tutor spoke. He stated, Jesus showed me his Father's mansion and the different levels of awareness. All of the colors that go with the different levels of awakening are here, and it is where we go when we cross over. He then added rather gleefully, would you like me to take you there? The class, of course, was over the moon, while I sat there pretty darn mad and wondering just when the magic of this week was going to begin. The tutor whom I had looked up to and respected had taken what Jesus had said to me and claimed it as his own message, as if the previous day had never happened. Jesus showing up and giving me nuggets of wisdom was magic in and of itself. But I felt that something was missing. I again questioned why I had made this trip in the first place. Looking back, my hope was a bit squashed and my faith depleted because my own ego would not allow me to see what was happening. We have all been there, where someone may have made us feel less than, and we believed it. In fact, I would say this is a great time for you to stop for a moment and reflect on areas of your own life when something similar may have happened to you. How were you able to overcome it? You never know who you may be able to help through your own personal experiences. Read on for the next miraculous experience that my counsel had in store for me. So on the end of day 2, as we move through day 2, and again, here we are first thing in the morning, everything that I had shared and that Jesus had shared with me and had asked me to share with the room was then taken by the American tutor, who decided to look my body up and down and judge me for the way that I looked. I don't know what he was judging. I really just felt uncomfortable. And judged what was coming from me and made me feel less than and told me that I had conjured it all up in my mind, right? So yesterday or the day before, he's telling me that I conjured it all up in my mind and it was just my imagination that made me think I was speaking to Jesus, when lo and behold, Jesus miraculously shows up for him the morning before we join class, and he has the same exact message, similar to the information that I had given the day before, like it had never been spoken about, and was miraculously given to him to share with the room. So his ego was very much in play from day 1. As we moved into the day 2, I could see it was even more apparent, and I just felt as if I was back on the construction job site where the men would cross their arms and say, you can't do that, only I can do that, and judge everything that I did as they made numerous mistakes next to me. So I really felt like, why am I here? Why am I being put through such scrutiny? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to connect to? What am I supposed to learn here? And I'll tell you, it was a grand learning experience. By the time I got to the end of the week, I saw all the puzzle pieces and where they fit together. But we're not going to move into the end of the week yet, or the miraculous moment that happened for me, because I'll tell you, all of the things, all of the roadblocks, all of the things that made me want to turn around, pack my bags, forget about the almost $2,000 that I spent to be in workshop, hotel, travel, food, all of those things, all of those expenses. I didn't care about those because I was becoming defeated by somebody who made me feel that I was less than. And I wanted to retreat, to move away from something that was becoming very painful for me. It was wounding me. It was hurting my spirit. It was dimming my light, and my ego was allowing it to happen in a way, but it was such a teaching moment for me by the time I got to the end of the week that it all made sense. So as we end today's reading, which I hope that you enjoyed, reflect on what was shared here and see where you can connect to some of these things that may have happened in your life, and see what it took for you to overcome those things. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you all tomorrow.